In the previous video, we introduced stock buy and sell problem. We talked about a naive solution. This problem has a surprisingly simple and efficient solution. The idea is based on this fact: you know the prices in advance. When will you buy a stock? If the prices of a stock are going down, you will let them go down. And once the prices reach bottom, at that point you will buy the stock. And then when they are going up, you will let them go up. Once they reach the peak, at that point you will sell the stock. And after the peak, if they again start going down, you will not buy the stock. You will let it go down. Once it reaches the next bottom, at that point you will buy the stock again. And then when it is going up, you will let it go up and you will sell it when it reaches a peak again. So the idea is simple. You need to find bottom points and peak points. At every bottom point, you will buy the stock, and every peak point, you will sell the stock. If we see this array, this is the graph we have. On day 1, we have 1. On day 2, we have 5. On day 3, we have 3. On day 4, we have 8. On day 5, we have 12. So you will notice that here we have the bottom price, so we'll buy it here. Here we reach a peak, so we'll sell it here. Here it is going down, so we'll let it go down. And even if it was further going down, we would have let it go down, right? Suppose there was a value 2 here, we would have let it go to 2. And after it reaches a bottom, we'll buy it again. And then we'll let it go up. So it goes up to this point. And at that point, we sell it, right? So you will buy the stock when it hits a bottom. When it starts going up, you sell it when it reaches the top. So this particular idea has a very simple implementation. What all you do is you traverse through the array starting from the second element, and you will see that if it is going up, you will keep adding the profit, right? Suppose you start from here and you notice that it is greater than I minus 1. You add the difference of these two. Now it is going down, you do not add the difference of these two. Now it is going up, at this point you add the difference between these two. Now you are here, you add the difference between these two. So when you are adding these two differences, basically you are adding the difference between bottom and top, right? So when the element is going up, you keep on adding the difference between greater value and smaller value. If it is going down, you don't do anything, right? That's the simple implementation, which is based on this idea. Let's do a dry run of this implementation on this array. So we have this array 1, 5, 3, 8, 12. Our initial profit is 0. We begin this loop for I equal to 1. The profit that we get is 0 plus 5 minus 4, 5 minus 1. We get the value as 4. We went inside the if condition because price of I is greater than price of I minus 1. Price of 1 is greater than price of 0. So we got the profit 4. Now for I equal to 2, price of 2 is not greater than price of 1. So we do not go inside the if condition and we do not update the profit. Now when I is 3, we again go inside this if condition because price of 3 is greater than price of 2. And we consider the current profit and add the difference between 3 and 2 indexes. So we get 8 minus 3, we get 9. For I equal to 4 again, we have price of I greater than price of I minus 1. So we add the difference between 4 and 3, which is 12 minus 8. So we add this to previous profit value 9 and we get 13. So one thing I would like to repeat here, this is actually cumulative effect. You are adding this difference and then you are adding this difference, which means you are adding the difference between these two. So when something is going up, you keep on adding the difference between consecutive elements and ultimately you get the difference between bottom and top. So that's how you maximize the profit.